Welcome back and many thanks for staying with us. To Israel, where Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's wife, Sarah, has been charged with fraud over the alleged misuse of state funds in ordering catered meals at the official residence. The indictment charged that Netanyahu, along with the government employee, fraudulently obtained more than $100,000 for hundreds of meals supplied by restaurants, bypassing regulations prohibiting the practice if a cook is employed at the home. According to the indictment released by the Justice Ministry to the media, Sarah was charged with aggravated fraud and breach of trust. The Prime Minister, who himself is embroiled in a series of corruption investigation, has called the allegations against his wife absurd and unfounded. UK Finance Minister Philip Hammond says Britain's Treasury is not trying to undermine Brexit, but is instead focused on boosting prosperity by promoting continued close ties with the European Union after the country levels in a major speech to London's financial services industry at the Mansion House in the City of London. Hammond said his priority was preserving existing business and trade ties after Brexit, as well as seeking new global financial service deals with non-EU countries.
We'll have to contribute a bit more in a fair and balanced way to support the NHS that we all use while delivering on our fiscal commitments. So as we leave the EU, we need to forge a new relationship with our European neighbours that protects those patterns of trade, those business relationships that have been painstakingly built over decades, and that maintains low-friction borders and open markets. That does not make the Treasury, on my watch, the enemy of Brexit. Rather, it makes it the champion of prosperity for the British people outside the EU, but working and trading closely with it.
And today marks a step change in our ability to provide the liquidity that the new finance may eventually require. With the Chancellor's announcement tonight of a groundbreaking new financial arrangement and capital injection for the Bank of England, we now have a balance sheet that is fit for purpose and fit for the future. One that reflects the much wider range of responsibilities that the bank now has, and one that comes with a financial framework which enhances our independence, but also our transparency and our accountability. Although the principles guiding the MPC's choice of a threshold rate remain unchanged, with a lower bound on bank rate now permanently close to zero, the MPC now intends not to reduce the stock of purchased assets until bank rate reaches around 1.5%. We said today that any reductions in the stock of purchased assets from that point would be conducted over a number of years at a gradual and predictable pace, and that we continue to view active sales and reinvestment decisions as equivalent from a monetary policy perspective.
Closer home in Uganda, the agricultural sector continues to be the most important sector, employing approximately 69% of the population and contributes about 26% to the country's GDP. It is not therefore surprising why emphasis is being placed on agribusiness, as our Kampala-based team of Solomon Serwanja and Godfrey Badebie sent us this report.
Hundreds of youth in the eastern region of Uganda are acquiring knowledge in agribusiness.
We teach you hands-on. If you're going to look after the birds, we tell you how to look after the bird and how you get money out of it.
Indeed, it's hands-on. Mirembe Maria is getting ready to attend to a poultry farm. This is the experience she has attained over time.
I learned how to brood them, how to vaccinate, the diseases that affect them, and even how to collect eggs, how to sell, so that I have a better future.
Unemployment and lack of skills is one of the factors that have hindered youth development in Uganda. Non-government organization Avis is championing a youth empowerment program in Kamuli.
We really need to try to get the agri-swag in the whole business and get the youths more interested and engaged in agriculture, because it is really one of the ways that they can be less unemployed.
And for youth like Mirembe Maria, lack of jobs and sitting back to watch the day is no option. Knowledge is power.
Because really, they've done great work to say that my life is changed. However much I'm not so much changed, but what I know, the knowledge I got, I can be changed in some years.
You cannot stay within this world.
With some agribusiness skills, several sector contributors are looking at great opportunities on the economic growth of the country. However, a lot more effort is needed to fully harness Uganda's agricultural potential.
By having that, people will work and start investing and look at their farm not just as a hobby, but really as a commercial enterprise to work ahead. The quality control, the phytosanitary and the sanitary support the government could and should give to work and to make sure that farmers who are moving ahead will be able to export to other countries, but also to assure that the quality of the food which will be produced is of good quality for the people of Uganda.
The World Bank has supported the Uganda Skills Development Project to a tune of $100 million, targeted to key priority sectors of the economy. This is in line with Uganda's National Development Plan as outlined in the country's Vision 2040. Solomon Serwanja, KTN News, Kamuli, Uganda.
Still in Uganda, as the World Cup gets underway, big games will also mean new chances to make money in Uganda's fast-growing sports betting business.
Football and betting is an addictive combination in Uganda. In just a few years, betting shops have become a feature of cities, towns and villages across the country, with more and more willing to have a flutter.
I win, I lose, I win, I lose, so I don't know exactly if they have eaten me or I've eaten them. I still don't know exactly, but I think I've eaten them.
In Kampala, there are hundreds of betting shops and people are increasingly gambling online, thanks to the ubiquity of smartphones that enable web and app-based bets. In 2016, the government established a national gaming board in an attempt to regulate the exploding industry.
We know very well that most of the youth love sports, especially the male youth. They love football. So they all place bets on their favorite teams, especially out of the Premiership. Now, because they've done that a lot, they have even moved to other unknown leagues, like the Chinese league, not even only the first division, but they play on the second and the third.
The growth of the industry is also creating new jobs. Ivan Kalenzi runs his sports betting consultancy from his sports clothes shop in one of the malls. He has clients from all over the world, but has seen many gamble their lives away.
For the last 5 years, I've been meeting people with so many different problems, fees. People are losing houses because of gambling. People are losing out on families because of gambling. People are in too much debts because of gambling. So there are many problems associated with gambling.
Innocent has been gambling for 6 years, but thinks he will eventually stop.
I don't advise family people, actually people who are having family, who are married, to do this betting all the time, because sometimes it takes you badly. But for me, I'm still not married. The day when I get married, I might stop.
For many others, it may not be so easy. And with Uganda's high unemployment rate, the lure of an easy win risks dragging more into dangerous debt.
We take another quick break here on KTN News Desk. When we come back, Moses Wahisi will be taking you through the top stories in the sports world.
This is KTN News.